So My Hero Academia Season 2 has finally come out, one of the most anticipated anime of this season, which also supposedly is going to be 26 episodes. I think I'm getting that right based on one of the websites listing the data and it showed up to like 25 or 26 episodes. So this is going to be a rather long season unless that just turns to be completely false, so it's only going to be a 1 core, but it's pretty much guaranteed it's a 2 core. But what I've been really anticipating with this arc, because I have not read the manga, I've read a few chapters before, like I kind of fell off and then I jumped aboard when the anime came out, is that we're getting a tournament arc, and it feels like it's going to be a very typical tournament arc, which I feel like shonen anime have kind of given up on, or they really twist what the old classic tournament arcs used to do, and I'm really excited to see, because My Hero Academia is a very kind of Western influenced series. Like there's a lot of these like superhero tropes that you see over here in the West, but it does have that anime feel to it, and I'm just really excited to finally see a tournament arc with this series, with this cast of characters, Deku and all the others really just go in with this arc. I'm really excited to see the different just obstacles and just overall things they have to do throughout this arc. But just overall, I think it's going to be so fun to just see such a fun, really solid shonen series get back into that typical shonen arc that I really like, which is the tournament arcs, which I feel like have kind of fallen off over recent years, or they're just not what they used to be like in the old retro shonen anime. And I'm really excited to see that. But I thought overall this episode, it was a really good introduction to the series again. Like it did have a bit of that refresher from season 1, but overall I thought it just got right back into the swing of things. The visuals are still kicking ass. Like it's always had that really interesting comic book feel with the backgrounds and the way the characters are, but just overall everything just really kind of popped and flared, but does set up this season rather damn well. I mean, season 1 literally ended with them sort of pushing away the opponents there, the enemies who broke into the school and pretty much pushed All Might to his absolute limit, and now he can only stay in his All Might form for about 15 minutes or something currently. So it's really up to Deku to really start mastering his powers so he can inherit All Might's legacy, because right now we've seen the best he can do is when he hit that one opponent, he was able to use his ability without totally shattering his arm, but most of the time if it's not against an opponent, he's just completely breaking his bones and just his overall body just can't handle this ability. But we've seen at least now, it kind of gets explained that the first time that when he just actually is able to attack an opponent, a life or death situation back in season 1, he was able to do it. And I think that's going to play a very big factor within this arc here. I think he is going to fail like in this tournament trying to use his ability, but I wouldn't be surprised if some opponent or some antagonist pops up where he does have to use it again, and that allows him to use his abilities to their full potential. Because what's really interesting is I would normally not be okay with them hosting this tournament arc right after all that just happened in season 1, with all of like the big baddies coming in, breaking in, and literally almost killing people, killing the students of the school. So you'd think, well, maybe we shouldn't have this tournament arc, like maybe we should just try to catch the remaining people that fled away. But they explain it actually really well to make it so this tournament makes sense, as they have 3 years at this academy and they have 3 shots to impress other superheroes to basically let them show what they're capable of, so other heroes will recruit them to be their sidekicks. It's one of the most important things for these students, so they have to do it no matter what, but they're also beefing up security like 5 times. So in doing so, it makes this tournament make sense because these characters need to do this. They need to impress. In the case of Deku, he needs to show the world who he is. They need to know his name, so when it's time, he can inherit All Might's legacy and people can look at him as being the next All Might kind of thing. And I think the way they explain that is actually really damn good, because otherwise, if they didn't explain, well, they only have 3 shots, this is a very important thing for heroes, because if you want to be recognized, if you want to be recruited to be someone's sidekick to then later be your own hero, you gotta really show off your skills. You get 3 chances at the school. If they didn't have that, it would have been like, well, I'm really excited for this tournament arc, but shouldn't we be focusing on the antagonist who kind of fled and just almost killed people? So I'm really glad they handled it like that, so it makes complete sense, but also gets you hyped for the tournament arc, which I would assume is going to be like the first core, at least the first 10 episodes. That's what I would assume is going to run for it. But overall, I'm really excited to see what they do. I think, you know, when they're calling I forget his name, but the guy with like the hands on his face, you know, just a big man-child, I actually kind of cracked up with that. I thought it was really interesting. But also, he seems rather menacing as hell, and I'm really interested to see how dangerous he's going to be when he comes back, because he knows All Might isn't just an undefeatable force. He obviously, from what I remember with season 1, he knew something was off with All Might, and All Might mentions it that some are starting to notice the issues with his powers. So I think I just have a feeling that this tournament arc may not go completely swimmingly, or at least near the end something might bad happen or something like that. Please no spoilers for people who read the manga, but I think it's definitely going to have a negative impact, like something's going to happen in this tournament arc, and then maybe Deku is going to really have to shine and show he can kick some ass, or at least at certain times. But I really enjoyed this first episode. It really got me hyped for the future of this season, and I'm just really excited to see what they do with this arc. But overall, I thought this was a fantastic first episode. Really gets my body just pumped up and ready to see next week's episode. But for anyone who watched this episode, manga readers, anime originals like myself, what did you think of this, and how hyped are you for next week's episode? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and before you leave, hit that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.